us. Thank you for supporting all of DC Little League. And without further ado,
thank you,
Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Keith. Well, give Keith a big round of applause from the Mamie Johnson Little League. And we do have fantastic kids playing all over the city and winning championships. So congratulations. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza in Washington, D.C. So for years, this area was referred to as Dave Thomas Circle. For the many years, it was served by a Wendy's restaurant. And now we have much better connections, and we're going to hear about the amazing transformation of this circle into this beautiful plaza. Let me first recognize Maura Brophy from the NOMA bid. Give Maura a big round of applause. She and her team and the business partners that make up the NOMA bid have been incredible partners with us at DDOT for this amazing work. I also want to recognize Sharon Kirschbaum and the amazing DDOT team. Give them a big round of applause. Amazing planners, engineers, construction managers, communicators, helping to keep DC safe and moving on our roadways, sidewalks, alleys, and so many other things. So thank you, DDOT. So we heard the frustration from commuters who traveled this intersection. We saw the number of collisions that made it one of our most dangerous interchanges in the city. It ranked top 10 for crashes. And simply put, it was too confusing for even people who know how to get around it. So today we celebrate turning the page on that circle and opening up a much easier to navigate and safer interchange. The district was proud to invest $41 million into this reimagined space. It is a transformation that is remarkable. We've turned chaos into something that people can navigate and understand. Come to our city, go to work, go home, and shop and dine right in Washington, D.C. So the NOMA neighborhood is a great success story of district investment, isn't it? From parks to other public spaces, including this one, as well as investing in businesses coming to NOMA, DC government agencies coming to NOMA, supporting the amazing expansion of Union Market and all of the district investment we have there as well. So we also needed to redevelop Florida Avenue. And I want to thank the project team at DDOT because we're really looking good here. And I know this has been a lot of construction for people to live with. So I want to thank our neighbors and visitors for understanding what we're working on. Here we're honoring a DC icon, Mamie Peanut Johnson. And just last week, we also talked about how we invest as a city in continuing to grow. Even in tighter fiscal times and as our economy shifts, it's important that we continue to invest in our infrastructure. You'll see on either side of me charts that when I became mayor 10 years ago, we set out to take roads that were in disrepair and invest in them consistently with DDOT's expertise to turn those to roads that are in a state of good repair. The poor roads were labeled red, and the good and improving roads are various shades of green. And I'm proud that because we've been consistent and the DDOT team is expert, we've been able to turn most of our roads and alleys and sidewalks into a state of good repair. So it takes money, and every year I ask the council to keep the money there when it comes to our roads, sidewalks, and alleys. We've proposed $402 million investment in this capital plan, in addition to $402 million in bridge replacements and improvements, $45 million to build the pedestrian tunnel near the Noma Metro. We know that these types of investments allow communities to grow sustainably and safely. So I'm just really proud to be here to help DDOT celebrate. This was no small feat, DDOT. It was no small feat. It was no small feat, Council, when we said we wanted to buy Wendy's. By the way, they didn't want to sell it to us, okay? That this intersection was pretty good for them. But they worked with us in the end, and we've been able to bring you this safe transportation facility and beautiful community. So with that, I want to turn to our council members to say a word. I want to start with your at-large council member, Kenya McDuffie.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is indeed a gorgeous day to be in our nation's capital and to be standing at an intersection named after Mamie Peanut Johnson. It is indeed a great day for somebody like me who grew up in this city, traversing streets across the city and recognizing that until today, this was one of the most dangerous intersections in Washington, D.C. One of the most highly traveled vehicular intersections at at New York Avenue and Florida Avenue in Northeast. A place where not many people dared to walk or ride bicycles. And frankly, I think an intersection that a lot of cars tried to avoid if they knew how to. And the mayor's been a bit modest about how we got here. If you spent some time in this city as a teenager, you probably grew up stopping at this Wendy's to grab a Frosty or a burger or a chicken sandwich, as I did on many occasions. But if you are a policymaker, you know how important it is to make our streets safe. And it has been one of the mayor's priorities to make streets safer throughout the District of Columbia. And a few years ago, I reached out to ask that we eminent domain the Wendy's at Dave Thomas Circle to make the streets safer. And the mayor and her team, Sharon, DDOT, the folks at Noma Bid, Mara, and her team, folks jumped into action. And I'm delighted that we have arrived here today at this beautiful plaza. And so I want to give the mayor and her team a shout out because it took a lot to get district to own this property, to put into place the construction that took place to make it look like it does today. And she really deserves a lot of credit for making that happen. So let's give Mayor Bowser a round of applause. And I want to give it a shout out to my Ward 5 council member and colleague Zachary Parker, because when he took in office in 2023, he had a lot of stuff on his plate. But this is obviously one of the things that he prioritized as well. We have put together, working with the mayor, the council has put millions of dollars into the budget to improve the infrastructure along Florida Avenue and New York Avenue. And it's gone from one of the most dangerous intersections in the city to one of the most beautiful and soon to be ranked, I'm sure, as one of the safest intersections in the city. And it's no small part to the folks like Zachary Parker and the folks at DDOT, at the Noma Bid, and all the other agencies that have gone into the planning to make this happen. I also want to thank the construction crews who did the work to make this plaza as beautiful as it is today. So thank you for the invitation, Mayor. Thank you for everybody who worked on this. This is really, I think, a shining example of how you get things done when you put your mind to it. So thank you.
Thank you, Council Member. And now I'd like to introduce the Ward 5 Council Member, Zachary Parker.
Thank you. And good morning, everyone. I'm going to continue in the thanks and appreciation for where we are today. I remember it was roughly 2 years ago at this point where we were breaking ground and the Wendy's was still behind us. as we were imagining what could be possible at this intersection, and it's amazing for us to be here today. I too want to thank Councilmember McDuffie, who helped lead the charge in revitalizing and reimagining this intersection. I want to thank in his absence Councilmember Charles Allen, who's chairing a DDOT hearing today, for his input. But I also want to thank our friends at Noma Bid. I said this at their annual meeting. We would not be here without their engagement, their feedback, and the work that they did. I remember the community-driven survey they led, which resulted in the name Mamie Peanut Johnson. And so know that this name did not just drop out of the thin air. It came by the vote and engagement by our neighbors and will serve as a beacon for this community for years to come. I want to thank the mayor for her continued investment in projects like this around the city and in Ward 5. We're excited for Florida Avenue and all the future projects to come. But also DDOT under the leadership of Director Kirschbaum. I leaned over and said, "Are we on schedule?" And she said, "We're on schedule." So to do this type of project and to have it be on schedule is no small feat, as the mayor alluded. I would say, as we're thinking about the entryway to the city coming off of New York Avenue, what once was, as was mentioned, one of the worst, if not the worst, intersections in the city, in terms of safety, but also congestion, for it now being one of the most beautiful, inviting, welcoming places in this part of the city is truly remarkable. And I'm filled with joy. I'm happy to cut the ribbon today and join all of our friends here in this celebration. I believe next we will have Director Kirschbaum come up, but just I would leave you all thinking about what is possible for traffic safety across our city and using this as a model. Thank you again for being here.
Good morning. I'm Sharon Kirschbaum, the director of DDOT, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be here. Not only are we looking at a transformed intersection, I want to make sure everyone spends a minute just listening. It's quiet. If you were here 2 years ago, you would hear horns honking incessantly. And I can say I worked in the building adjacent to the plaza, so I know firsthand what it was like. And I'm really thrilled not only to talk about Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza and the improvements to this intersection, but also to mention that we are celebrating today the fact that this is anchoring another safety project all up and down Florida Avenue from the intersection all the way to H Street. We did a transformation there, expanded the sidewalks, improved lighting, made the roadway safer. That was one of our high injury network corridors, and now that's going to be off the list permanently, as will this intersection in terms of being a high injury intersection with high risk crashes. So this location sits really at the heart of Noma, of Eckington, and Union Market, and for a long time it was really a barrier, and today it serves as a gateway. It changes today. Before I go further, I do want to just acknowledge the steadfast commitment of our amazing mayor, who ensured that we continue to have resources to do these critical projects and to make sure that our roadways stay in a state of good repair. It takes foresight and commitment. There are so many competing priorities, and all of us at DDOT are so grateful that these continue to be prioritized. I also wanted to just mention, as everybody knows, that safety is always our top priority, and we continue to stay focused on the high injury network. Those are about 5% of our roadways, but they make up over 50% of our serious crashes. And the work and commitment and resources here dedicate and reflect that priority. So this redesign, as you can see, it includes protected bike lanes, reconfigured streets, curb extensions, upgraded signals, improved lighting, and improved crossing. We are already seeing the reduction in injury crashes along the corridors where we have made similar changes. Here at Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza, we have created 3 new public spaces for the community. With thoughtful design, new greenery, and safe, accessible paths, these spaces bring beauty and belonging to a place once known for confusion, congestion, and car honking. Naming the space Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza honors a pioneer, a barrier-breaking athlete, and a proud daughter of Northeast DC. Her legacy and resilience inspire us, and it is fitting that this plaza, which unites and uplifts, bears her name. I want to thank again the terrific team at DDOT for their hard work and their dedication in delivering on both of these projects. I'm going to give a special shout out to our engineer, Ali Shakiri, who led this project. Ali, give us a wave. Thank you. And our planners, like Amanda Stout, and construction managers. They have worked with precision, passion, and purpose every step of the way. And I also want to recognize our design partners at SWA Balsley who are here. When we first thought about the design, we wanted to transform it into a cultural crossroad where 3 green spaces were interwoven into the community's placemaking vision for Mamie Peanut Johnson Plaza. And that vision is now a reality. Also, a thank you to the NOMA Business Improvement District President and CEO, Maura Brophy. She helped lead the naming process and engage in the community with the community to find what the space could and should be, and it will be under her great leadership that we're going to continue to see activations here and really a new destination. So thank you. Peanut Johnson Plaza shows us what is possible when we invest in safety, design with intention, and work hand in hand with the community. So thank you. Congratulations to everyone who made this day possible.
Well done. Well done. Thank you, DDOT, and we're going to have Maura come up and close us out and celebrate for the community. Maura Brophy.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank the Mayor, Director Kirschbaum, and members of our community for being here today. I also want to acknowledge my team for all of the work that they have done to get us here and for all the work that they will do now that these spaces are here. We're here today to celebrate a transformative moment, not just for the neighborhood of Noma, but for our city as a whole. We're standing at what once was one of the most complex and hazardous intersections in the district. You might have heard that once or twice so far this morning. And today, thanks to the leadership of this administration and the vision behind this $41 million investment, we're standing in a place that feels entirely new, safer, more connected, and full of possibility. But what makes today especially meaningful is that we're not just unveiling new infrastructure. We're unveiling new public spaces. And like so much of what has made Noma a vibrant, people-centered neighborhood, these spaces are the product of sustained, community-driven work. From the beginning, the Noma Parks Foundation worked alongside DDOT and other partners to ensure that public space would be a central component to this project. We knew that if we were reimagining this intersection, we had to do more than just move cars. We had to create places for people, and thanks to landscape architects SWA Balsley, that vision has come to life. I'm proud to say that like Alethea Tanner Park, Swampoodle Park, and many others across Noma, the naming process for these spaces was led by our community. Over 1,200 residents and stakeholders submitted ideas, and a diverse panel helped to shape a final decision that reflects our city's values and legacy. Naming this space after Mamie Peanut Johnson, a trailblazing athlete, the first woman to pitch in the Negro Leagues, and a longtime resident of Northeast DC, is a powerful tribute to a life of courage, determination, and impact. Her story deserves to be told, and these spaces will help ensure that that is the case. Looking ahead, the Noma bid will take on the responsibility of programming and activating these spaces, bringing them to life with events, performances, public art, and opportunities for neighbors to connect. We know that great public spaces don't just emerge from good design. They thrive when they're animated by community. So thank you to our partners at DDOT, the community members who helped shape this space, and of course, Mayor Bowser, for continuing to invest in neighborhoods like ours, and in the power of public space to shape a stronger, more connected Washington, D.C. Speaking of which, there's still more to come when it comes to investing in infrastructure in Noma. I look forward to the day when we gather again to celebrate the groundbreaking of the new entrance at the Noma Gallaudet Metro Station, and I want to thank the Mayor for her continued support of that project. We're honored to be a part of this transformation, and we can't wait to see these spaces grow into places that serve the city for decades to come. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're walking right across to cut a ribbon. Let's cut the ribbon, and then I'll come back for questions.